For a fact, they both don't like that woman.
Yep, I told you.
I tell you that because, furthermore, if you look at the situation, their father met that woman when he was 29. Do you know how old Diana was? 16. Diana was 16.
My goodness.
My man
what would they say in 2023?
You see? The age police have not said anything.
Police.
Now, when your
severe grooming.
Imagine your mother goes on
TV man,
and says your father and his descendants and his predecessors are bullying me, they're making me not eat, the woman is giving me sleepless nights, and then my mother dies, and then you go and marry that woman. Huh? You think I'm gonna like that woman?
That is a slap in the face.
A big slap in the face. But for William, as you said, he's sucking up because what? For him, he wants to be king.
He wants to be king.
So, but Harry, my guy, my brother, sticking up for his father.
What you call a man that does not stand for anything, but fall for anything.
He will fall. Look at him, he's just like the wind.
That's why his head is falling as well. His hair is falling out.
Allegedly, he's also like father, like son, I hear.
Yeah.
He also has a side copy, but
allegedly, but
allegedly.
Is this a news flash?
And allegedly,
are you breaking?
She was there at the coronation.
We didn't confirm it. You didn't hear it here.
Me, I'm just talking what I read in the newspapers.
What newspaper is this?
That already she was also there at the coronation. On Camilla's side. That's what I saw.
William had chest,
allegedly. So for me, I don't think they like her, but they tolerate her.
So they have a department of side piece affair.
You don't see that.
Hello, everyone. Literally just gone past midnight in the UK, so happy Wednesday. I feel like I haven't played that footage for the longest time, and I was like, let's play it today. Seeing as we're going to be talking about Camilla. Not for long, of course, just a rather interesting update concerning that documentary that came out. But we'll get into a whole bunch of other far more important things, of course. Welcome, everyone. Hit that thumbs up button and that subscribe button if you haven't already. I do notice when I don't do a podcast for a few days, a lot of people unsubscribe. So I do need to take breaks sometimes, guys and dolls. Appreciate you being here, and just know that I can't always do a live every single day. Like, I really have so much respect for people like Tisa Tells and Murad Morali. It's hard out here on these YouTube streets. Thank you so much, Kathy G, for being a member for 32 months. Oh my gosh, I wish I could give you a prize. That is incredible. Just wow. I mean, 32 months. I am just like, the loyalty. Almost coming to 3 years. Phew. We love you, Kathy G. Appreciate you. It's always interesting, like, when these milestones pop up, because sometimes even I forget how long I've been doing this. Anywho, just a reminder, if you haven't already checked it out, Raw Codes, I think I might do for Black Friday, because I haven't uploaded it on other platforms. YouTube has, sorry, not YouTube, Amazon has this program where if you make your book exclusive to Amazon for 90 days, you can do certain promotions, but you can only do it if you make it exclusive to Amazon. So I might just decide not to upload it onto the other platforms just yet and do the exclusive on Amazon, and then I can actually make it free. So, I mean, is Black Friday pretty much already gone? Maybe I could do like I don't know, whenever Black Friday is. I think it's this Friday, actually. I might be able to do like a Black Friday promo and actually do the ebook, just the ebook. I can't do it for the print book. I might make the ebook free. We'll see. So just stay tuned for that. And also thank you to Callie Jen for sending me this picture. Oh no, what is going on? Oh, can you all hear me? Oh dear, what is going Can you all hear me? You can hear me? Okay, sorry. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Sorry, I was saying thank you to Callie Jen for sending me this really beautiful picture of royal coats and bears. Sorry, had a bit of a technical fart there. Thank you to Joan Garcia for 14 months of membership. Incredible. Thank you to everybody who rejoined memberships when I got remonetized. Appreciate you so much. All right, let's get into it. Quite a few things. Okay, breaking news. Kwa 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 kwa. All the Nigerians in the chat will know that reference. This coming out literally like what, 4 or 5 hours ago. So Prince Harry's phone hacking lawsuit against the Daily Fail is going to go to trial in 2026. Now, just for clarity, because some people are getting confused, there are multiple lawsuits, but there's 2 main lawsuits that we are focused on in our little space, okay? The lawsuit coming in January 2025, that is with NGN and Mirror Group newspapers, and that's with Murdoch, okay? So that's a separate lawsuit. This lawsuit is with the Daily Fail, and Daily Fail is under a different group, which is run by Jonathan Rothermere. Okay, so 2 separate court cases, 2 separate villains. Okay, so please nobody get confused. So this is really, I would say, would I say this? Yeah, I would probably say this one is even bigger than the other court case, especially in terms of the money involved. So Harry's phone hacking lawsuit against Daily Fail to go to trial in 2026. Prince Harry and other high-profile British figures' privacy lawsuits against the Daily Fail newspaper publisher will go to trial in early 2026. London's High Court heard on Tuesday, with the parties' legal costs set to exceed £38 million, 47.8 million. I think it is an absolute crime in itself that it should cost you that much to get justice from the press. The cost of this alone basically grants the tabloids full protection. There needs to be some kind of system that you can bring the tabloids to justice that doesn't cost you any money, to be honest with you, because it is an complete and utter injustice that an institution that sings about freedom of press can never be held accountable when they do things that are wrong. You cannot enjoy the privileges of freedom of the press if you cannot be held accountable when you do genuinely do things wrong. There has to be a balance, because that freedom comes with a responsibility. And remember, a lot of these lawsuits, yes, there were criminal things were done in order to obtain information, but a lot of the information being obtained wasn't even in the public's interest. It was for salacious tabloid gossip. This was not journalism, real journalism that would be important or useful. They're not going after the real villains in society. They just want tabloid gossip. Anyway, Harry, the younger son of King Charles, is one of 7 claimants suing associated newspapers over allegations of voicemail interception, commonly known as phone hacking, and other serious privacy breaches dating back 30 years. Associated, which also publishes the Mail on Sunday, has always denied involvement in unlawful practices. Its lawyers said in filings for preliminary hearings on Tuesday that the claimants' allegations were firmly denied. Well, then how did you get the information? How did you get the stories? Are you psychic? Were you doing it through some kind of psychic osmosis? How? The publisher attempted to throw out the lawsuits were rejected last year for a trial which the claimants and associated say would begin in early 2026. Lawyers representing the claimants, who also include singer Elton John and the actors Elizabeth Hurley and Sadie Frost, expect to spend around £18 million up to and including the trial, with associated incurring nearly £20 million, according to court filings made public on Tuesday. Harry and the other claimants' lawsuits, which were filed in 2022, marked the first time Associated had been dragged into the hacking scandal, which emerged more than a decade ago and prompted a public inquiry into the ethics of the press and several criminal trials. It also sparked long-running litigation against Rupert Murdoch, Rupert the Unicorn blood-drinking Murdoch, British newspaper arm News Group newspapers, and the publisher of the Daily Mirror, Mirror Group newspapers. Harry's case against several he has brought against British media organisations as part of his mission to purge executives and editors whom he accuses of spreading lies and intruding into people's lives. The Prince accepted substantial damages from MGN to settle the remainder of his phone hacking lawsuit, having been awarded over £140,000 after the High Court ruled he had been targeted by journalists. Now, just a reminder, and this is why so many people just have not been able to bring their cases all the way to trial, including many wealthy people. And I'm just going to remind you of something that I read out a couple of podcasts ago, but this is from Hugh Grant, who dropped his case. And this was why. For anyone who has been interested in my lawsuit against The Sun, the news is that I've had to settle my claim out of court before it goes to trial. News Group are claiming they are entirely innocent of the things I had accused The Sun of doing: phone hacking, unlawful information gathering, landline tapping, the burglary of my flat and office, the bugging of my car, the illegal blagging of medical records, lies, perjury, and the destruction of evidence. As is common with entirely innocent people, they are offering me an enormous sum of money to keep this matter out of court. Innocent they are not. I don't want to accept the money or settle. I would love to see all the allegations that they deny tested in court. But, and this is the big but, the rules around civil litigation mean that if I proceed to trial and the court awards me damages, and they are even a penny less than the settlement offer, I would have to pay the legal costs of both sides. My lawyers tell me that that is exactly what most likely would happen here. Rupert Murdoch's lawyers are expensive, so even if every allegation is proven in court, liable for something approaching 10 million in costs, I am afraid I am shying at the fence. Rupert Murdoch has spent over 1 billion in damages to claimants and in lawyer fees, settling over 1,500 claims in this way. He seems remarkably determined that there shouldn't be a trial of the facts. Murdoch's settlement money has a stink, and I refuse to let this be hush money. I have spent the best part of 12 years fighting for a free press that does not distort the truth, abuse ordinary members of the public, or hold elected MPs to ransom in pursuit of newspaper barons, personal profit, and political power. So this money will repurpose via groups like Hacked Off into the general campaign to expose the worst success of our oligarch-owned press. So that's the reason why this is such a difficult case, because Harry could be liable. I mean, you're seeing the figures there right now, 38 million. Now, I don't know how much money the Sussex really have. It's likely a lot, but is it enough that you would want to risk having to pay by the time we get to next year? Probably another 2 million on top of that. So 40 million, maybe going into 50 million. Would you want to risk it? I don't know. You know, maybe Meghan can sign with Lancome. We can get a Dior deal in here. Evian. You know, Pepsi pays good. But that is a lot of money. Even for people rich like the Sussexes. And just the pain of having to pay that to a tabloid. But we'll see what Harry's lawyers say. I trust Harry's lawyers have been good so far. And if they feel it is worth, risking it, then so be it. A lot can happen in a year. A a lot. But of course, be prepared, guys and dolls, because you know how it goes by now if you've been in the space for a while. Be prepared for the Daily Fail to throw every toy at the pram. I mean, they've thrown about 95% of the toys out the pram already. They're still hanging on, hoping that anything else that they have is gonna make Harry stop this case. But I don't, unless Harry's lawyers say the money is just too much and it's not worth risking it, I don't see him dropping this case. He's taken it this far. And for good reason. Justice for himself, for his wife, for his children, and I believe for the British public. I only believe that Harry cares about truth for the British public, even if they don't seem to believe it. And they're licking on the balls of Murdoch and Rothermere. Here's Elton John, by the way, the other evening with Charles. I think they just caught a bad picture because if you watch the video, the interaction seemed rather cordial. But Elton is, of course, he's bringing the tabloids to court also. And Charles and the rest of the royal institution are in bed with the tabloids. I can't imagine what's going on behind the scenes right now. Because Daily Fail, especially, are probably telling them, you're going to make Harry drop this case. Or we're going to reveal this about you. Or we're going to say this about you. Like when Harry said they are trapped, that's what he meant. Anyway, let's segue quickly into some good news. Some good news coming up. Prince Harry and Serena will join global leaders in New York on December 4th at the Deal Book Summit to discuss impactful societal change. And they will be joined by the likes of Sundar Patel, CEO of Google, Bill Clinton, Jeff Bezos, and other prominent CEOs and public figures. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI. Other amazing figures. So in good company. So we have at least 3 occasions that we will likely see Harry and Meghan before the end of the year. Harry at the summit. I'm guessing he'll probably go alone. Harry and Meghan at the event honoring where they're going to honor Tyler Perry. And then, of course, Polo on December 10th. Make sure to set your recorders on Netflix. Your reminders, sorry. Also, in losers who just won't stop humiliating themselves news, Samantha Markle. I've gone out my way not to talk about this clown. She has popped up every now and again. That ridiculous lawsuit that just was never going to go anywhere, which I still believe was being funded by somebody in the British establishment. She decided to pop up again on her 60th birthday. So she gave this exclusive to the Daily Fail. What Meghan did to us, she's done to others. Dad has suffered, but I thought she'd stop at the Queen. That is this Samantha Markle speaks out. She's done what exactly? What has Meghan actually done? Anyway, the Daily Fail, they will give with one hand and slap you with the other. They wrote another article separate to this one 2 days later, inside the lonely life of Meghan Markle's older sister. As she turns 60 today, she'll be celebrating in isolation due to estrangement from both of her daughters, as well as a long-running feud with the Duchess, which led to a defamation battle, a one-sided defamation battle, which got thrown out of court. And of course, is close with Ashleen, Samantha's daughter. And we saw Ashleen in the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary with the kids. Auntie Ashleen looking after the kids. Samantha and her jealousy and her nastiness got her nowhere, and it continues to get her nowhere. Jealousy. This is what jealousy does to you. She is lonely and isolated because of jealousy, and she has proven herself to be completely untrustworthy. And she has not even attempted, not that I think it would help or that she should be welcomed into Meghan's life ever again, but she never attempted to try to make amends or protect Meghan. Ever. She went straight into battle, selling her story, and here she is still trying. It gets you nowhere to be like this. Anyway, I'll go to your comments and then we'll get on to some much happier news. Kathy G, you said just ordered your book. Yay! Hope you enjoy it. And I personally think that the hardcover is even more beautiful than the paperback. It's giving coffee table vibes. Eco Girl, how much would he receive if he gets a win? Depends on what he asks for. Connie, Harry must have receipts. I'm sure he does have 100 receipts, but the courts sometimes, they can be funny and disappointing. Rose Peach, the kitchen sink and the toilet bowl. Yeah, they are going to be throwing everything. I mean, the next year, just be prepared. Be prepared. I mean, to be honest, after all this time, I don't know what else they can throw. I mean, what else can they say about Meghan? What lie have they not come up with? Is her that made the dinosaurs go extinct? Like, what else are they actually going to throw at this point? Because I think even the haters, they must be getting bored. And people are starting to see the truth. Lottie, is that stupid woman still around? Yeah. That's what I said when I saw this article, because I have not been paying attention to her. If you notice, I even just stopped reporting on that silly case, defamation case that she has with Meghan. It's one-sided and stupid. Yeah, she's like a pest that won't go away. But it was her birthday, so I thought that we should acknowledge what a clown she is. Happy birthday, clown. Hey, Juliet, missed you all so much. I had to take a break. Well, I absolutely encourage people to take breaks. I'm glad that you took care of yourself. Welcome back. Glad you're back. Okay, on to the next thing. Highbrow Hippie. Now, this is the hair salon that Meghan gets her hair done at. I also do believe that she's an investor. And Meghan was, of course, there for Caddy and the other stylists for the launch of their latest hair product, the oil and the vitamins, and helping to promote the salon, which is doing incredible. They have an incredible host of celebrities who go there. Gwyneth Paltrow, Julia Roberts. I actually saw the new hair color. It's like more like angelic blonde that they did for Gwyneth Paltrow, and it's actually the best she's ever looked. I'm not even a Gwyneth Paltrow fan, but I'm not gonna lie, like they did her good with that hair color. Caddy is amazing. Like, wow, she's really a magician. So I really trust that she's put her time and care into this product. And it seems to be getting really good reviews from the squaddies. I did ask about it. Like, I have 4C very coily hair, and hair oils don't always do well for me. So as and when I've got a few extra pennies, I will most definitely be trying this. And if you're going to try it, do let me know what you think about it. I'd love some reviews. But a lot of people decided to try it, and they were inundated with orders. And this is what They wrote on their Instagram, well, wow, it's been officially 10 days since we launched Highbrow Hippies Hair Care and Wellness, and to be honest, we don't even know where to start. First and foremost, thank you to everyone, not only for your orders, but for your patience. When not with clients at the atelier, our small but mighty team has been working around the clock to fulfill orders as fast as we can. We have to admit, we had no idea what to expect when we launched. Who does? And the reality is that we are a small business that was hit with months worth of orders in just the first 4 days. Throw in a fully booked holiday schedule, a lot of frustrated emails, our lack of international shipping, we promise is coming. So international shipping is coming. A disappointing amount, this is where it gets interesting, by the way, a disappointing amount of mean-spirited emails from another country. Serious question, are y'all okay? Oh my. I wonder which country she's talking about. I wonder which country she's talking about that was sending those mean-spirited emails. Seriously, are y'all okay? And a few more wild, unexpected curveballs, and this first week and a half was not for the weak. We are finally beginning to see the light of day under the amount of orders, and we have our incredible team and mailman Vincent to thank for that. Everyone has chipped in and has worked day and night with grace, selflessness, and of course, some of our investors even jumped in on the assembly line. We are filled with gratitude for them and for all of you as we enter this week of Thanksgiving. FYI, Megan has been seen doing a little bit of work in the warehouse with some of her other business ventures like Clever Blend, so wouldn't be surprised if that was referencing her also. Sending everyone so much love. To see something that took so many years of development finally be out into the world and helping others is truly overwhelming in the best way. Cheers to healthy, happy, and thriving hair. Caddy, Micah, and the entire hippie highbrow team. Sorry, highbrow hippie team. Amazing. Woman-owned business, thriving, and being backed by and supported Megan. And it just really shows that when you pour your heart and soul into something and you build trust and you're really just good at your craft, with enough time and persistence, it will be noticed. And I've actually looked at the Highbrow Hippie website. Like, they've really got very beautiful, like, curated products. Definitely stuff you want to check out when you've got a few extra pennies if you want to treat yourself. All right, let's go to your comments and then we'll get on to the next thing. Yeah, that's the Megan effect. I think if you're going to get the, I think the oil is something like $80. And then the, yeah, it's expensive. But these organic like products, they're not usually cheap, and the reviews look like it's worth it. Kai said, what a lost opportunity. Samantha Markle would have been half sister. She would have written a bestseller book about her life as the favorable auntie of adorable royal Sussex niece and nephew. That's what happens when you let jealousy get the better of you. Yeah, Rochelle, UK, are you guys okay? It was the deranged acting deranged. I mean, I don't know why they're mad at Highbrow Hippie when they probably have no hair. Because they've been ripping it out because they're haters. Like, are y'all okay for real? Go get some therapy. Harry's been encouraging you to go get some therapy. You need to listen. So that's some nice positive news. Megan's business ventures and the ventures of her friends doing well. On to the other roads, back on British soil. Well, we're going to be leaving British soil and apparently going to India. So Charles is apparently planning a tour of India in the latest health boost following his cancer treatment. Planning a tour of India because the last 2 tours went so well. Camilla looking like this in Kenya. Pretty subpar turnout for them in Australia. Charles at one point of their Down Under tour, I think this is when they went to Samoa, he could barely stay awake. And then he had Camilla being completely disrespectful. She cannot hide her disrespect. And she seems to think that her disrespect is going to be tolerated. Now, on the surface, I feel like people are taking note more than ever of the disrespect. And it is consistent and bold from her. I am very interested to see how she will be received in India. How they will both be received. Narinder Kaur, this is the lady who made the comment about Kate aging. She said, can he return is that the Knorr and other precious artifacts while he's there? Am I allowed to say that, or will I be vilified to hell because he's battling cancer? Yeah, people are getting bold. And I don't blame them. Because really and truly, with all the things going on in the UK, they're talking about planning a trip to India. We just had awful flooding, by the way. Terrible flooding in some parts of the UK. And I did not hear any statement. Not that I'm waiting for it, but I'm just saying because they seem to be more interested in floozing around in other countries than looking at what's happening in their own backyards. We just had awful flooding. And I didn't see the royals saying anything about it, going to visit those people, offering to help in any type of way, setting up help centers, nothing, absolutely nothing. Janita, you said Camilla looking like Gandalf the Grey. I don't know who that is, but I'm going to take your word for it, Janita. I mean, this was in Kenya. She looked furious. I don't want to be here. It's too hot. I need water. I want to go to sleep. Oh, dear. And still having Charles travel around while apparently still ill. Are they going to pause his treatment when he goes to India, like the way they did when he went to Australia? They can't be healthy. Peach Rose, from Lord of the Rings? Okay, that makes sense because I've never watched Lord of the Rings in full. I feel like I'm on a journey and in battle when trying to watch movies like that. I like fantasy, but Lord of the Rings was just too long. I stopped watching halfway through the first one. But yeah, more tours for Charles and Camilla. I am actually fully enjoying royal tours now. Never paid attention to royal tours my entire life. Now you've got my full attention. I will be there every single day, peeking and cackling and because it's just going to be a treat. So I, for one, am very much looking forward to this tour in India. Bring it on. And while we're on Camilla, because Camilla's really having a moment now, isn't she? So Channel 4 released their Camilla Wicked Stepmother ? Documentary. And when I first saw the documentary, it was like a 8-second teaser. So this is how Channel 4 teases their documentaries. They will first of all put a teaser out just with the title, with kind of like abstract graphics in the advert, with no real explanation as to what is coming exactly. And then they'll do maybe like a second trailer, which will have maybe a one-liner or something else to tease. trailers will get longer and longer and longer as the days go on, and you'll get a little bit more context. So by the time we got to the third day, you had the adverts for this documentary saying stuff like, oh, Camilla, you know, she was a party girl, sexy, stuff like that. So that's when I realized they are going to sit on the fence with this. There will probably be some criticism, and mind you, I did not watch it. I refused to watch it. I might watch the replay online. But the general consensus from squaddies who did watch it was that it was very much an on-the-fence documentary. It confirmed a lot of what Harry said in Spare. There was a lot of criticism of her, but they also had people on who were defending her and trying to paint her as somebody who was misunderstood. So it was a little bit of both. She didn't get away scot-free. She was dragged a bit. But you also had people speaking in her defense. And I've always thought that headline that came out about, you know, Meghan gets what Meghan wants. Meghan wants what she wants, she gets. And I agree with the squaddie who tweeted this. It's always been what Camilla wants, Camilla gets. And one of the interesting things that came out about this documentary was confirmation of the relationship that she has between a lot of the journalists in Fleet Street. And the crazy thing is that I don't even know why these people, maybe they're given access, because I can't think of anything else that they gain from defending Camilla. Access to garden parties, or I don't know what. I can't see anything monetary-wise to gain from guarding Camilla. I don't think Camilla sells papers. Nobody is fangirling for Camilla. Nobody's really checking for Camilla. And every time she's there, you're just reminded of Diana and how horribly she was treated. So I don't really know what I need. I need someone to do some digging and tell me, what is Camilla offering these people that is worth defending her at this point? Because if anything, she is a big part of the reason why Charles is so unpopular. I think if Charles had not married Camilla and Camilla had stayed in the background, I think that maybe Charles would be looked at a little bit more favorably. Granted, I also think other social, political and economic factors are contributing to the decline in popularity of monarchy overall. But if we're talking about just Charles's image as a person, having Camilla by his side is not helping him. It's not helping him in terms of optics. And now Camilla has got her claws in and the press on her side. I think that when Charles finally has his time and is laid to rest, I think we're really, really going to see some. I mean, if we're seeing infighting now, the nastiness is just going to be turned up a million notches. Because the way Camilla has wriggled her way in front and center to the point where now we're all having to call her queen. Connie said Camilla is glaring at the kid like a witch. That is incredibly offensive to witches. Hashtag not all witches are Camilla. Not all witches are bad. Hashtag not all witches. Also, you said, I often wonder what Charles saw in Camilla. I think Camilla was just willing to be the shoulder that he rests on and the ear that he can cry to, and that will listen to all of his cries and just the hardships of being future king, darling. That's what it was. Because, baby, it couldn't have been Camilla's smile. Couldn't have been that. Definitely wasn't her smile. I don't think that's what he saw. Then again, beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder. And I guess I'm assuming Charles has got to be short-sighted. Or long-sighted, rather. Which is the one where you can't see close, but you can see afar. Long-sighted? He's got to be long-sighted. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and Charles has got to be long-sighted. Okay, what else did I want to mention? Yes, the coronation. There has been much talks about the obscene costs of the coronation. And I believe that the cost that they're putting out, it is very, very underrepresented of what we actually spent. I think it's got to be a lot more. And that was also off the back of the Queen's funeral, which cost so much. So they're saying that the cost was 72 million. I don't believe that. I think it was a lot more. I do not believe that. All right. This is from the BBC. The coronation of the king cost taxpayers 72 million, government figures have revealed. Just over 50 million was spent by the Department for Culture, Media and Sport, which coordinated the event, while policing costs came to almost 22 million, which were paid for by the Home Office. The DCMS described the coronation as a once-in-a-generation moment, and the figures came broadly with unofficial estimates, which suggested it could be between 50 to 100 million. Okay, so 100 million, that's the hell of a lot more than even 72 million. I actually think it would, if I had to give an estimate, I would say it was maybe 250. The coronation in May 2023 had been described as a slimmed down affair. Yes, the slimmed down, snatched waist, Kim K detox tea monarchy with the Westminster Abbey guest list only a quarter of the size of Queen Elizabeth II's coronation at the same venue in 1953. The coronation as a state event was funded by the UK government. A small amount of the bill was also paid using the sovereign grant, the annual taxpayers' funding for the monarchy. There had been criticism aimed at the public funding of the coronation, which came during a cost of living crisis in the UK. Crisis ain't stopped. We still in crisis. We deeper in crisis. A poll carried out by YouGov the month before the coronation revealed that 52% of Londoners did not believe the coronation should be paid for by the taxpayers. Interesting, they only interviewed Londoners for that poll. There had been much speculation about the cost of the public purse, which the DCMS said could be revealed after the event. The DCMS annual reports accounting released on Thursday said the coronation reached an estimated global audience of 2 billion people, 125 countries. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. There is no way 2 billion people saw this coronation. No way. That is a lie. I will need to see how they measured it. Because let me just see how many people in the UK watched the coronation. What were the viewing figures? King Charles coronation UK viewing figures, because ain't no way 2 billion people. So an average of 12 million watched BBC's coverage of the main event of the coronation from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, the 6th of May. Okay, so that's 12 million people watched on BBC. There's another article saying 18 million views in the UK, so I don't know what else that includes. Okay, so let's just go with 18 million. Now, how many people are in the UK? There are 68 million people in the UK. So if only 12 million people in the UK alone watch the coronation for their king, you're not going to convince me that 2 billion people around the world saw this. You're just not. I would maybe believe that a great deal of people maybe saw pictures online or clips online, you know, saw Camilla tripping over herself while trying to walk in. So, yeah, so they saw this. The 2 billion people actually saw this on Twitter. This is what 2 billion people saw. They didn't see the coronation. They saw this.
Pages there. These are her grandchildren behind her and one of her nephews. So a big moment for them. And then the king will have a separate set of pages which will include Prince George. And when they leave, they'll...
Come on, rush in. We've got to get it done. And this.
But they're having a bit of discussion here. I am wondering where the Prince and Princess of Wales are, because they were due to arrive before the King and Queen, but maybe they took a different entrance.
2 billion people saw that in the WhatsApp chat. 2 billion people saw Camilla acting a fool and Charles having a tantrum in his golden carriage in the WhatsApp chat. That was the 2 billion views, honey. That was the 2 billion views. There was not 2 billion people sitting and watching that whole coronation. No way. Ain't no way. Oh. Campaign Group Republic called the coronation a pointless arcade parade and said the money could have been paid for free schoolmates. Chief Executive Graham Smith said, at the time, so many people are struggling with the cost of living crisis. It is shameful that Charles insisted on this pointless extravaganza. King Charles was crowned at the Westminster Abbey on 6th of May in a ceremony attended by dignitaries around the world. King Charles' youngest son, Prince Harry, flew in from California for the ceremony, but his wife Meghan did not attend, neither did their children. Various celebrity guests attended and foreign dignitaries. A star-studded concert featuring Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and Take That, among others, took place at Windsor Castle the following night. Y'all. I mean, the more you look at these pictures, the more you just think, are you serious? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing. Like, I am, let me just say, I am very much for the preservation of culture. But that has to be met with where we are in these present times. You could have just had a normal state function that was not this extravagant if you were going to still go ahead with some kind of coronation. In fact, I think in one of the mainland Europe countries, they just have it at the royal town hall or something. They just make him sign a certificate and he's wearing a suit. And my goodness, at the very least, could they have not made everything look a little bit more modern? Charles's suit looks like a bad Adidas tracksuit. You've got velour, velvet, silk, feathers, fur, embroidery. Just everything is going on at the same time. If I was a seamstress, this would be hurting my eyes. There was nothing about it that even looked remotely glamorous. Maybe in their eyes it did. They did nothing to... There was nothing even about the ceremony they did to modernize how it looked. It looked clownish, I'm sorry. This looked like a costume party. I mean, I guess with Lizzie II, I guess she was young and beautiful. It all looked very glam. But glamorous or not, honey, we are in a different day, a different time. Oh, jeez. Okay. I will end with your comments and then we will wrap things up. Thank you as always, everyone. Sorry I was away for a few days. I've got a lot going on at the moment. And I did need those of you who are just joining, we are wrapping up, so maybe you want to start from the beginning and watch on replay. Yes, Connie, 72 million for one day. One day. PG. That was a very strange comment. Yeah, John Garcia. Nothing but made up lies. It's gotta be more. The numbers keep changing on how many watched the Coronation. Scopey said 4 billion. Really, I mean, I never saw Omid say that, but I think that the palace is gonna look like a lot of people watched. I don't believe it was that much. I can believe that 2 billion people saw Camilla act to the full in the WhatsApp chat, tripping over, trying to walk in. I can believe that. I don't believe 2 billion people actually sat and watched this whole thing. Gordon, she couldn't run fast enough to sell in that store. I mean, no elegance whatsoever. Lottie, William and Kate were late, right? Apparently so. I doubt. Never expected a mistress to be queen. Well, Camilla did it. Queen of side chicks. All these young girlies in the TikToks, they don't know nothing. Camilla is the queen. You got to give her. Rahini, also, there were no British acts. There were. Take that's a British act. And there was the other guy as well. I forget his name. There was another guy who was British act. And they had a few at the GBB as well. But of course, they brought in the American acts to bring the eyes to the event, the international eyes. 2 billion, I choke on my juice. I don't believe anyone watched in the US. Exactly, because the biggest markets would be UK, Australia, and Canada, I guess. There's just no way 2 billion people watched. I don't even think 2 billion people saw Avatar. And that's like one of the highest grossing movies of all time. Nonsense. Ooh, happy Thanksgiving. Is it Thanksgiving in the US? Happy Thanksgiving to you. Make sure you cook your turkeys right. Don't want nobody getting food poisoning. Rena, he said she didn't have a big wedding, so she insisted on a big coronation. Well, Charles is the longest standing intern of all time, so I'm pretty sure that he wanted a coronation too. Big one. Like, I was washing my hair that day. Oh gosh. I will remember that day the rest of my life. I was in Georgia. I was in Tbilisi, Georgia. They just seemed to go wrong. I think I woke up later than what I wanted to, and then I was rushing around. And then I didn't eat for the longest time. And I think I got Rahini and Lightside to jump on because I just needed to eat. Oh. Been a long journey, folks. Anyway, the good news is that Harry and Meghan are doing better. And that's the most important thing. Regardless of any of this nonsense going on right here, our faves are doing better. That's the most important thing. And with that, Lady T, I will end with your message. I want to wish everyone a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving indeed. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. See you tomorrow. Ciao.